Hey guys, and welcome to ArcTech. So in this video we'll see how to display a linked list. Now in arrays we can use their indexes for each element to print the elements. Okay, so it is simple. In the case of arrays, what we'll do is we'll just use the indexes of each element, and in this case we can display the array elements. For example, if we have an array whose name is A, so to display the first element of this array, what we'll do is we'll write cout A of 0. To display the second element, we'll write cout A of 1. Like this, we can display the elements of an array using their indexes. But in the case of linked list, to display the elements, we have to use the pointers. Why? Because we know that linked lists are stored using dynamic memory allocation. And to access the elements stored dynamically, we have to use their addresses. And to use addresses, we use pointers. To display the linked list, we have to use pointers. So to display a linked list, what we'll do is we'll first create a pointer, okay, and we'll make this pointer point to the each elements, okay. So with this pointer will point to each element, and at the same time we will display the elements. That is, we'll display the data of that element. So in this way we can display the linked list using the pointers. We'll see about this in the code and the logic. And we will continue this printing until the pointer reaches at the end of this list. So what we'll do is we'll just make a loop, okay, and the loop will work until we're at the end of the list, okay. So here we have a linked list, okay. So we have three nodes here, and we have start pointer pointing to the first element, okay. So we have 2000 stored inside this start. Now we have to display each element of this list. So what we'll do is we'll first create a pointer of type node, and this pointer will point to the first element, that is this element, okay. So we have a pointer here, and this pointer's name is ptr, and this ptr is declared globally, okay. Now this pointer is storing the address of 2000, that is address of first element. Now what we'll do is we'll just execute a simple code, and the code is cout ptr to data, okay. Now ptr is pointing here, and ptr to data is this 5, okay. So after execution of this line, the output will be 5, okay. And then we'll do ptr is equal to ptr to next, that is we will make ptr point to the next element, okay. And after execution of this line, ptr will point to the next element, that is 3000 here, okay. So now ptr is having the address of 3000, okay. Now after this, what we'll do is we'll again execute these lines, okay. So these lines are inside a loop, so we'll execute these lines again. So we have cout ptr to data. Now ptr is pointing here, and ptr to data is 10, so we'll get output as 10. After this, we'll execute ptr is equal to ptr to next, okay. So ptr to next means this is ptr, okay, and ptr to next is this 4000, okay. Why? Because this is next, and ptr is pointing here. So we have ptr as 4000 now, therefore ptr will point to the next element, that is 4000, okay. So now ptr is pointing to this element, okay. Now after this, what we'll do is we'll execute this part again, that is we have cout ptr to data, that is after execution of this line, this data is printed, okay. And after this, we have ptr is equal to ptr to next, okay. Now ptr to next is null, okay. So now we have ptr is equal to null, that is we have null stored inside this ptr, okay. So after this, we'll stop the execution. Why? Because we are at the end of this list. So in this way we can display the linked list. Now here is the code. So we have name of the function as display, okay. Now after this, we are assigning the pointer ptr as start, that is ptr is pointing to the first element of the linked list. Why? Because start is having the address of first element, okay. Therefore now ptr is pointing to the first element. Now we have a while loop, and this while loop will work until ptr is not equal to null. So as soon as ptr becomes null, we will stop the execution of this loop, okay. Now inside this loop we have the same thing, that is cout ptr to data, and this thing is for the modification, okay. And the second thing is we have ptr is equal to ptr to next. So this thing will display the data, and this second statement will increment the pointer to point to the next element. So in this way we can display a linked list using the pointers.